Hi Crafty Crafters, I'm here to do a video share on how to use molds and to make these out of your molds. Here's some cute little flower, and this is made with a mold, and when I finished making it, I painted it. So you have a couple things going on here. You could have just it all like, just a regular color without a glossy look, which is really nice on different things that you do. Or you could add some Mod Podge and you can make it a shine, give it a little bit of a shine. And so this is kind of what Mod Podge. I use the gloss luster one. And so you can kind of see the difference. See how one is shiny, which would be this one. And then this one doesn't have any shine to it. So it depends on the look that you want and how you want it. So here's an owl with a cute little branch to sit on. And here's a flower. I love the flowers. And then I did some butterflies with the mold. And you can see this is the same exact mold. One's a little bit bigger than the other. But if you notice how this one has the little wings are kind of up a little bit. And this one's more of a flat. So when you're done molding, if you kind of give it a little pinch like this, when it dries, it'll dry with his wings sitting up. So it's the look that you want. If you want flat or if you want it looking up like that, it's really up to you. And I love this tree mold. So there's different ones that I did here, as you can see, in different colors. I only took out a few colors of paint to start. So my next batch will probably be reds and different shades. So I'm going to show you how to do this, and you will have fun and you'll be addicted like I am. And you'll want to do it all the time. That's the problem that you run into once you start a craft. Well, that's my problem, I know. So what you're going to do first is you're going to go and you're going to purchase your molds. I purchased most of mine from my friend Pamela. And she has a website, and I will put that link at the bottom so you can go find out where she is, and I'll add you to her group so you can purchase some of these. This one is an angel that I got from her. Actually, my friend Lori got it. And this is what the mold looks like when it's out. So you can see the mold, and there's the image. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to paint it yet. That's why it's sitting there. This is not an easy one. This is a more difficult one. As you can see, the crevices are very deep, and to get it perfect is not real easy. So you just gotta, but it's beautiful. As you can see, it's beautiful when it's done. So that's one. And then Pamela sold this one with all these beautiful flowers. And let's see. Oh, and this one, the one that you saw that I made earlier, which was this one. So you can see that's the mold. That's what it looks like. When it comes out of the mold, that's what it'll look like. So you can see the difference between them. Okay? Put my stuff back. So, and then I have all kinds of molds here. This is another one that I got from Pamela. It has like Halloween stuff, which I really love. And then here's some more flowers. The flower that I painted like this. That's that one. And then here's a little cabochon, and then Eiffel Tower. You see all the shells and the little snowflakes. I'm just going to kind of go through here really fast. That one. And then this one's the little bows. And there's a crown. So that's what you're going to do first. Pick your mold. Then you're going to pick out what you're going to make it with. So there's several things that you can use. You can use this easy cast. This one's a little bit more difficult in that you have to mix two mixtures. But it's perfect. It's beautiful. You just pour it in your little crevices and you just wait for it to dry or cure, I should say. Then you take it out. Advantage of it is that it goes down in the crevices very well. Disadvantage, you can only do one thing at a time, so you got to wait a lot. But it's awesome, and you can put coloring in it to make it color, so it's not going to be just clear or whatever. Whatever color you want, you can do it instantly and be done. Then there's the oven clay, which is wonderful. You take and you put your clay inside of there and you mold it, and then you put it in the oven. I think it's like 325. I don't remember offhand. It's 325 for like about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the size. So you got to kind of watch that one. But this is awesome. I love it, especially if you want to do a mold that's already pre-colored so you don't have to paint. And then there's two different kinds of air dry clay that I like. I like this one because it dries faster than the other air dry. This dries within 24 hours if it's a smaller image. If it's a bigger image, it might take a couple days. So I know that when I did the angel, it took 3 days with this one to dry. And then there's this other air dry. This one takes about 4 to 5 days. And with the angel, it took a good 6 to 8 days. I think it was 7 days altogether to dry. This is awesome because it turns out white. They both are white. This one has a little bit of an off-white color to it. The other one, this one definitely is like white when it dries. It's great because it's air dry. You just make it, put it aside, and then a couple days later, or 4 or 5 days, whenever you want to get to it, 10 days later, you can just pick up your paintbrushes and just spend some time painting. So that's the different one. So today I'm going to demonstrate 2 of the clays so that you can kind of get an idea. So I will start with the oven clay, and I think I will do pink because I want to make a pink bow. So I got this is a new mold, so I love this mold. So I'm going to take and put the pink clay in this bow because I want to make a pink bow. So the difference between this and the air dry is that this one, the oven clay goes in, but you can't really figure out the sides too well, in that if I like to pull it away so I don't have to do a lot of trimming. So I will take and do this around the edges, which is not a big deal, okay? With the air dry, you'll see it's a little bit different. So you just kind of like push it all in there and just move it around. And then when you're ready to pull it out, you take the edges and go off, pull it away. But it's very important that you push it in there really good so you get all of the detail. Because if you don't push it in there, you're not going to get the detail. So you pull the sides away, and what's going to happen is the clay is going to start to pop out. And that's important. So I just kind of pull it out. See how it's popping out now? Just give it a little help. And there's the cute little bow. Look at that bow. Very simple. Now I'll take that and I'll put some aluminum foil on a baking dish. But I won't just do one. I'll do like 20 or 30 because it's silly just to do one. And then I have a whole bunch later on. And we'll bake it at, I think it's like 325 for like 8 minutes for this one because it's such a small image. And then that one will be done. So that's the oven clay. So I will now do the air dry clay. And I'll do the same image so you can kind of get the idea of it. So I'll pick out the same little bow and I'll stick some in there. Very important that I push it down. But notice how I could take and just pull that clay off, all the excess off there. And you never have to wash these molds because all the residue comes out. I've noticed I've never had to wash them, which I love that idea. So then I just take and push it in there. Make sure it's pushed in really, really good. And watch how easier this one pulls out compared to the oven clay. Just pops right out. The difference between it is that one has color and it has to be baked. This one is air dried. It's done. If you want to leave it white, or you just take a paintbrush, you can paint it any color you want. After about, this one, 24 hours. I mean, not even that really. Probably after about 10 hours will be dry. So that's that one. So that's the difference between the clays. I do prefer this over anything because it just air dries, and when I get around to it, I'm done. Whereas the oven one, you have to take time to turn on the oven, do all that stuff, and that's it. So to do a butterfly is basically the same thing as you put your clay in there. And I like to just, like I said, I like the air dry. So I tend to go to that more than anything. And because see how nice it just pulls it off? You just do what you need to do and it goes pretty quick. And I could just whip these out fast. I usually do it during, I have a daycare. So when the kids go down for their nap or their rest time, I will be working on stuff like this while they're resting. So I take my little mold. This is a little more shallower one. And it wants to pull out right there in that center part. I knew that I had an issue with this particular clay. I mean, this particular mold. Because it wants to pull the butterfly apart. See how it comes apart in 2 pieces? So I just grab it like that. And I put it back together. And this is the best part, is that I could take on the back side and pinch it. Now the butterfly looks like it is sitting up a little bit. So now I will just hold, I will then take this butterfly and just set it on my bake on a side on a paper plate or something and let it dry. And then I'll come back and paint it. So that's how that particular clay works. So like I said, this is my favorite. You could choose what you like. There's different kinds you can use. The different resins. The oven bake, if you want an instant color, you don't have to worry about painting, is the way to go to. I love oven bake. I use that all the time too. That's about it, aside from painting. So when you get ready to paint, you can use any kind of paint you want. I like acrylic. If you choose, you can get the glossy colored acrylic, or you could just get regular. It's up to you. And then you could if you do the regular, you want a glossy look, get your Mod Podge out, put a layer of that on it. There's also spray, different things to put on it. So it's pretty easy, it's pretty straightforward. If you want to paint your object, you basically get your acrylic paint out. It's pretty easy. I mean, you guys are going to go, oh my gosh, this is so easy, I cannot believe it. So you pick out which one you want. So I'm going to start with this one. You get your paint out, you dip it in. Sometimes I'll put it on my desk and just, work there. And you just basically paint it. It just goes on so easy. This is the air dry one that I did. So I just basically dip it in there. And now with the yellows, I found that I need 2 coats. So I put my layer of yellow on. I let it dry for like 10 minutes. And then I put another layer of yellow on and let it dry for 10 minutes. Then I'll do the green. And then voila, you are done. And you can use them on anything. I use them in pocket letters, my cute little molds and pocket letters. And so you can see what that looks like. I painted it. And that's not a glossy look, so it'll just be a matte color. And if I choose to make it shiny, I could put some Mod Podge on it and it'll be beautiful. So that's how you use these molds. These are awesome molds. I love molds. I never knew that they were the best thing. I've been going out and buying all these little things and spending so much money, and now I pay one price. I don't know, I think it was $10 for this. And the clay, you go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's, is right around $10, $12 each. Use your 40% off or 50% off at Michael's. And you get it really cheap. And this thing right here will make a box this many items and then some out of it. Now think of the money you're saving by doing these molds. I really recommend molds now that I finally figured out how to use them and love them and adore them. So if you like my video and you're interested in purchasing some of these molds, give me a thumbs up. Put a comment in the bottom of my message box that you'd like to be a part of Pamela's group to get some of these molds. And hope to see you later. Have a good day. Bye.